You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the POLITY live from KAFTAN television studios in Abuja, Katampe precisely. And the POLITY is a program that takes a deep dive into unfolding political events happening within Nigeria and even beyond the shores of the country. And my guest joining me live in the studio today is no other person than Chief Peter Ameh. Chief Peter Ameh is a politician. You are welcome to the studios on the POLITY.
Thank you for having me.
I want to let our viewers know that he is also a former national president of Interparty Advisory Committee, IPAC. Council. IPAC. Chief Ameh, so much is happening in the politics. Sometimes one doesn't even know where to begin from. But let's start with the current trending issue in the polity. One of the trending issues in the polity, and that has to do with local government autonomy. You know, after that landmark ruling by Supreme Court, there has been so much trepidation, pushbacks, and reactions coming from so many quarters. While governors are reacting differently, some Nigerians applauded that, that ruling as laudable. Local government chairmen, we even saw some of them that unanimously withdrew from the association, that is Algon. So you don't know where to start from. But it took us through how you received the news of this 10-man committee being set up by government to ensure that the law is enforced.
I think for me, the problem I have is there's nothing, when a law becomes a law, I don't like all this rigmarole the Nigerian government play in setting up a committee to enforce a law. A law is a law. When something is pronounced and it becomes law, what is expected of those in authority to do also is to take immediate action to see that authority that has been granted in the Constitution to Nigerians, for us to abolish Section 162 that has to do with local government and state and local government joint account that have led to the mismanagement of public resources. Come accruing from federation account. What they should do is that promptly, as the month ends, you ask local government 774 across Nigeria to submit account.
Okay, so that on the 11th of July, the Attorney General of the Federation, instituted a case against 37 state governors, on 27 grounds. But what we're hearing is just, financial autonomy. What happened to the other grounds? It's a long journey, and any journey you start and you have taken a step, you should be grateful for what God has done. Because what I'm telling you is that the governors have mismanaged public resources. They have mismanaged money that is supposed to go to local government council. You know where that problem comes from? It's in Section 162. That Section 162 is talking about state and local government joint account. And when the money comes to the state will not release to local government. They only try to release their salary and mismanage and misappropriate the other funds. So where the problem lies, that financial autonomy has been resolved. The next one that Nigerians are looking for, the second one that has been resolved is also that the local government system has been given guarantee of tenure as enshrined in the Constitution for 4 years. That there's no more caretaker committees that will be operating. That if a local government election is conducted and the governor attempts to dissolve that local government and create a caretaker committee, their funding automatically will stop coming from the federation account. So that is already another plus for what has happened. Then where the problem lies, when Nigerians are looking forward to systematic change, to electoral improvement, is what they call STEC. State and Independent Electoral Commission. Yes. And that is captured in Section 197. And that capturing is the fact that local government, these CX are responsible to conduct election in local government. I'm telling you that we have over 8,000 councillors across Nigeria. We have 774 local government chairmen. If these elections are transparent, were credible, and represent the true interest of our general youth and old people alike, then you would have found out that I would have deepened our democracy. Because democracy can only be deepened when it allows for participation, when they allow for inclusivity, when they allow for multi-engagement processes that will allow Nigerians to have a voice. And when democracy reduces the participation from multi-party angle, then it becomes a dictatorial process where only one party conduct election, that party will sweep clean 100%. Then that's not democracy. And that's why we're saying that they are proponent to a different kind of opinion when it comes to the issue of CX. Some people felt if you bring CX to the federal government,
That means the federal government will be controlling almost everything, including the state. They are already controlling INEC, and we are not even seeing. There's a shortfall with what they have done with INEC, but people are pushed because of the fair level that oppositions are winning election when it comes to the INEC. But in a federated system, it will be almost an aberration to take the local government system and creating a federal executive body that runs local government system. The governors are afraid that there will be interference with the president that will become an appointing authority if it becomes a federal executive structure. So what we are looking at is that, let's create a commission, a state election commission. You understand that members will be drawn from non-partisan groups, from non-partisan groups that are competent enough, that have knowledge about how to manage elections in Nigeria, and then have a transparent process. That members drawing should come from the judiciary.
Is that constitutional?
That's what we're saying. I say what people are looking for to be able to get rid of the manipulative tendencies and the suppressive nature that governors have managed the local government system. It has become an exclusive victory for parties in power across each of the states. If it's APC that is in the state, APC will win 100%. If it's PDP that is here, they win 100%. So we need to redesign the system that will allow free and fair and correct, because democracy is operated through electoral processes, and for you to get a democracy standard, to make sure that people accept that it's democratic, to make sure people accept that it represents true wishes of the people, elections must be free, elections must be credible, and elections must be fair. That's when people cannot accept that a common man from Ilaje, a common man from Kogi West, a common man from Nyanya can run an election without the issue of money bags, without the issue of being afraid that he must be anointed by a godfather. So these are the things that are restricted our democratic participation, because people who are in charge of this process have become like emperors. They have become so oppressive, and they want the process that is determined by democratic definition, want it to be run through their own whims and caprices. So that is not democracy. That is, we are running a quasi-authoritarian process. Well, for us to have democracy, there must be it must be tailored through the protection of the people's interest.
And it must be people-driven.
Yes.
Okay. Now you talked about the pattern of democratic structure. There are elections. Elections have been held in some states in reaction to this Supreme Court. Some states are yet to hold elections. What's the implication so far? I'm not happy with the federal government with what they are doing. They do not have the authority to be restricting when the judgment will start. If a judgment is given, if a law comes into effect, I believe as a layman it should take effect immediately. Yeah, exactly. You can't now tell me that it will start in October or November or December, because it's not futuristic.
It's not futuristic. It is because of there was a problem that issue came up.
Yes.
So if you are going to have,
and the ruling is a solution.
It's a solution to that. Why will you appraise it and then you are trying to cut deals? Like the local government chairman in Oyo that said that they were pulling out. It was just a joke. That is the embarrassment we have been facing from local government chairmen that have become like houseboys and messengers to governor. This local government chairman are supposed to be executive chairman of the local government, elected for a period of 4 years, guaranteed under the constitution. They are supposed to have a state legislative chamber that is run by the House of by the councillors who are responsible to make bylaws for the good governance and development of that local government. So these are the people that are supposed to check the local government chairman while they manage the affairs of the council.
It's one of the political tripod. As a third tier.
Yeah, as a third tier. So as we speak now, they'll be subsumed, they'll be consumed by the authoritarian suppressive attitude of those who are governors. So for us to get it right, we don't have to wait, because we need to wake up and make sure that this local government start to get their money as at today. Without saying that there's an implementation. All you need to do is to send signal to FC. Each local government chairman should bring their account to the appropriate quarter, either the CBN, and they get their money at the end of the month. Because the governors do not know how to manage resources. The governors are not productive in any sense of the way. They are only like feeding bottle. Like a child, you put a food bottle in his mouth and he suck and he goes to sleep. That's what they are. They come to Abuja, collect money and go back home and pay salary and then mismanage the remaining money. And that's why there's so much poverty in this country. So we must be able to cut the suppressive attitude of those who have been elected as representative to governors, we must be able to tell them that their insensitive attitude towards the Nigerian general, the populists that are supposed to govern, is responsible for the problem that we are facing. So they must look at it from a very holistic point of view, because if we allow them to continue in this approach, then we will have ourselves to blame, because the poverty at the local level, the poverty at the local government level is embarrassing. If you get calls, the level of the way our people are suffering, they look at the inflation level. If we have an agricultural sector that is productive, we have arable land. We are blessed with land in this country, and our people shouldn't suffer. But our people are suffering because of the incompetence and lack of ingenuity of those who are representing our people.
Okay. Peter Ameh, the program is getting interesting, it's getting heated up, and our callers are waiting in the wings to start calling so that they can make the program conversational. They will make their opinions known, and they will also ask you questions. And Peter Ameh, I believe, will be here to answer all your questions. My producer is going to open our telephone line, but that will be after this short commercial break. We will come back. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and thanks for being there on the POLITY. Today, our topic of discussion is local government of autonomy. Expectations from the 10-man committee set up by the federal government to enforce the ruling by Supreme Court of Nigeria. And we are here talking with Chief Peter Ameh. Chief Peter Ameh, before we went on that break, I wanted to ask you, there's so much poverty that you alluded to at the grassroots level in Nigeria. And you said that is the reason why we have so much poverty across the length and breadth of the country. Does it have to do that, development deficit that we have at the grassroots? Does it have to do with the suppression of local government area councils over the years? It
has a lot to do with it. If you see, because one, the local government chairmen, they can't be arrested. It's like the money does not come straight to them. Yeah, exactly. So this corruption is a free form corruption. And that's why you see 5 governors have so much money at their disposal, and they don't know how to deploy it. The people who made the 3-tier of government were very sensible in their futuristic sense of thinking. That to say that, look, let there be another tier that is smaller to manage, and then that can run like a community government. And that was why there was local government arrangement. And if you now have local government arrangement and the money does not get to the local government authority like the chairman and the councillors to manage, then you will create a vacuum in leadership at that level. And that level, when people go to elections in local government, and there are no local government, and they see that there's so much coronation, like people just appoint people, governor just put people, and they become local government chairman. It weakens our people's desire, people's trust in electoral matters and electoral processes. So that's why you see that over the years, there's a decline in interest of voters to participate and go to the poll to cast their votes. There's a voter apathy on a very high scale. So for us to get everything working, for our people to be committed to the process, for our people to believe in governance, yes, we must have grassroots local government arrangement that works and they can hold responsible. It's not that state house assemblies who can't even hold their governor accountable, who are supposed to be acting as the check and balancing the state between them and the state as a very strong arm of government. They are now the one now making laws for local government. When local government has their own legislative chamber, that's supposed to be making bylaws that was supposed to help in improving the agricultural or whatever economic arrangement in the local government.
Okay, now, in spite of this landmark judgment by the Supreme Court, some state governors have continued with the status quo. And this absence of internal democracy, we have seen it, being played out in many states. There's this particular state in the Northeast, I will not mention for obvious reasons. I'll use innuendo. And they conducted an election, and the ruling party in that state cleared all the local government election. Is that
Bauchi just did this now. Bauchi did this. Bauchi did it. It weakened multi-party democratic growth.
Let's take this caller. I like the line of thoughts of yours. Good afternoon. This is the POLITY from KAFTAN Television. Please, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Abdulaziz Idris. I'm calling here from Abuja.
Okay, Abdulaziz Idris, go ahead with your contribution. Ameh is here to respond.
Yes, it is my pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
On this platform. Now, we're talking about local government autonomy, and the 10-man panel by the federal government.
Yes.
I hear what the guests have said.
Yes.
And it's a great achievement by this present administration to be able to get the local government autonomy.
Okay.
But the problem, when you look at it clearly here now, is that allowing state governments to conduct election by their state independent election or election councils, really there could be no chance for opposition, and there will be no chance for good people to come. Only the stooges, the governor's stooges, are the ones that they will put there, and they will still have control over that money. Because some of the stooges, they will still they were appointed as chairman there, they will still carry the money and go and give them, say this is the money we collected from the federal allocation. There's a need to allow INEC to local government election. Or, as what the House earlier on decided, that they want to create a new local government election body. It is better we federalize that election body, not within states. That's why you see what happened in Bauchi and other places, whereby one party clear everything. If you're in opposition, you will never have chance. And it's when there's a chance for opposition, there will be a new breed of people coming in to say the truth and do better.
Okay.
That's my little contribution.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have heard him.
He's very right, but he has to get it that yes, there are a lot of people who believe that there should be a national body conducting election. But the fear is that the people are afraid, because we're running a federal system, that you should not over centralized power, to the point that the president becomes so powerful while the state become extremely weak, so that you cannot have the state. So we must go back to the constitution and get professional lawyers and those who have more experience about election in Nigeria, people, a lot of people like Plag, Yaga, so that we can all sit down on the right table and then discuss how to create state commission, that will be appearing in the constitution. Because that state commission, what we are asking is that it is not partisan enough, to the extent that people who have competence, capacity to manage the process are brought on board. Because one of the problems with local government election, like in Bauchi, in Delta, it was 100%. Everybody, the PDP won everything, because that is not an election. That is like you are trying to put a king, a traditional
it's an affirmation.
It's an affirmation.
Coronation.
So, the coronation. So what they have done is just to affirm those who would have come from their parties. So, and in the election, you could see a level of incompetence from the CX. What the CX did was just to carry the numbers of registered political parties in Nigeria and put them on the ballot. For you to have access to the ballot, you must have conducted primaries for your party. Your publication would have placed your personal particulars for a period of time to check whether your name is there. So before you now put them on the ballot, those who don't have candidate shouldn't appear in the ballot in the first place, and those who appear on the ballot whether they don't have candidate, it's your fault. So you have to go to court to quash it. You can't to remove that party from that ballot. It is no longer your business as usual that you announce a result and then you revert the same result with your own mouth. That does not stand well for an electoral process. And people talk about, we don't have local government autonomy. What we have is local government financial autonomy, section 162, that has been abolished, state and local government joint account. We are yet to have electoral autonomy, where we have an independent, a truly independent electoral commission in the state. We are yet to have that, because section 197 is still standing like a Iroko tree, holding where the governors appoint members of that CX and appoint the chairman of the CX, and then the state assembly that are like Hosanna boys, they sing praises of the governor 24 hours. Then now you take it to them, they are the one to pass that committee, that CX committee, and then they are answerable to the governor directly. So we still have that major problem there. But what I want him to understand, he has to get the fear, because when you are trying to cure a thing, you don't create more problem. You don't over strengthen the president, who is already appointing INEC chairman and is also being part of the game. We play the same match. All presidents in Nigeria, whether Jonathan, Obasanjo and co, and including the Tinubu that is there today, is going to go to the match in 2027. He's appointing the referee, he is appointing the last man and telling us where the goalpost will be. So that's a problem.
So he can have undue advantage
Of course,
which will consequently influence outcome of results.
Whoever pays for your music will tell you how to dance.
It.
So there's nothing you can do about it. So, but it's just an inbuilt something. The man will say, make I trade softly. This man was the one that appointed. You know.
Okay, let's
there's a level of caution.
Hello, good afternoon. This is the Polity from KAFTAN Television. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Hello. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, this is Matthias. I'm calling you from Gombe State.
Matthias from Gombe State. Go ahead with your contribution.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President and the in the House. I watching the interview and the presentation, and I think the problem we have in this country, I'm not saying the granting of local government autonomy is a bad thing, but I think the problem our leaders are having is about individuality and partisan issue. Like he said, okay, they should give the local government autonomy and the state government should not have a hand in the local government election. It's acceptable, and I think that will make it better. But once that is done, and let's say the governor of the state is from APC or PDP, and the chairman of the local government is from either PDP, is from opposing party. Already, the chairman of the state, the local government is having the autonomy there. And you will begin to see that he will not want to work in line with the state governor. I don't think you are getting what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we are getting you.
Yes, they may not want to work with the state governor for the growth of the state, like from the local government and the state government. So I think the issue we are having in this country entirely, it's about party fighting party. Once like now, once APC is on seat, APC is on seat now, you see, most of the PDP members are trying to do whatever they can to make sure that the APC governor will not work, so that people will not see the good aspect of the APC government. I think if PDP happens to come back to power, the same thing.
There will be a role reversal.
The ideology of our democracy, yes, it will just be turning like this. They will begin to fight themselves, and then the masses will turn to suffer.
Okay.
They're the ones suffering all these things.
Okay.
If you look at everything that is happening here, the people that pay the prices for all this, the suffering in this country are the masses, and then those people there, they tend to enjoy all these things.
Okay. Thank you.
So I think unless the leader that is coming in has the ideology that yes, I'm coming in for the people, I'm not coming in for the party. I'm coming in for the people. Then even if the leader, the local government chairman is from APC, the governor is from PDP, you can come together and work for the development of it.
Okay, thank you.
The granting of local government autonomy, I think, is a welcome development. I mean, for a long time they have been deprived of that. So let them just let it come into play so that we can be able to see if it will help.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. You've heard him.
I've heard him, but you know, for electoral body, you don't make them partisan. You understand? Because he's talking about the governor is APC. What about the other parties? We have a multi-party democratic system in Nigeria. But we have, as we currently are talking, we have 19 political parties. So you can't do that and then have a say, because the interest of a person to favor his own is the reason why people are looking for
non-partisan.
Non-partisan approach to the issue. And if you have a non-partisan approach to the issue, you succeed more. What they talked about criticism, maybe whatever, nobody can hold a governor, except you don't know how powerful a governor is. Nobody can hold a president from not performing. It's the fact that those in power are not patriotic to the people. They are not sincere to Nigerians. They are not interested in making Nigeria work. They are more interested in their own self-luxury, what they will benefit from coming into government. So that is the reason why they are not functioning well, because we have the resources, we have the manpower, and we have the environment that can make business to thrive. It is the incompetence of those who in government, because of their selfishness, because of their incompetence attitude towards the people and the country, is the reason why we are here. It's not because a politician come to criticize anybody.
Okay, let's take this caller.
Mouth is not a bullet.
Peter Ameh. Good afternoon. This is the Polity from KAFTAN Television. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Thank you very much. It's Sally from Jos.
Sally from Jos, our regular caller. You have always tried to call. Sorry for we'll be missing your calls, Sally, and we don't take your call for granted. Go ahead with your contribution today.
Thank you very much. Today, the guest in the studio is a very powerful speaker. I want to commend him for what he's saying.
We appreciate
when
that.
you bring people to the studio that speak from the position of knowledge of everything is being discussed in the studio, people interested in it. Sometimes I must tell you the studio is not as fiery as this today.
Exactly.
So I want to commend the guest.
I agree with you. We appreciate your words of encouragement, and he's happy.
Thank you.
Yes. Secondly, the issue of the local government, as he talked about, is the financial autonomy that has been granted to the local government, but the other how will I say now, political independence, the issue of election is still domiciled with the state governors.
Yeah.
Well, asking the question, what is this proposal? Because if people are pushing for INEC to handle the issue of local government, and he is saying that he doesn't want a situation where the president will still be the one to be appointing who will run the local government and the state. What is his proposal for that?
What is his proposal?
I want to get his take.
Okay, your take on...
Yes, I want to get it.
Okay, Sally, thank you. If you have
finally.
Okay, go ahead, Sally, go ahead, it's your show.
Finally, he has said something about the president and the governors. They are all a product of a local, and they are also a product of a ward. The president is his leader, is the councillor, his ward. That if
maybe Sally has to call back. We lost Sally. Sally, sorry, your line has been epileptic, especially towards the tail end of your second question. You could try to call back, but let him respond to what he has said.
If you look at what ACN has done, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, he was aware how difficult that Section 197 would be, and he left it out. 197. The issue is that even the proposal I have is subject to further review, because those people who we want to give those authority to must also be strengthened, like the State House of Assembly must be strengthened to get their payment from direct light charge, so that they don't fall into the traps of running to the governor, and also have those kind of independence. Then the judiciary in the state, the governors appoint them, so we agree. But the judiciary, no matter how, has some level of fairness in the management of our laws. So what we are saying is that let the judiciary be empowered, the State Judicial Council be empowered to put out advertisement. Let people apply. When people apply, let an open, transparent process be carried out in appointing those people, and then those people now go for screening at the State House of Assembly. Then they become members of the board. That's one way. You understand? But when we sit down with lawyers, with other people who can draft better. And before your time, I was somebody pushing. If you watch my past video, I was really pushing the INEC should conduct elections for local government. But I come to realize that you can to a point bring everything to the to the center and allowing the state. Yes, we know that the state governors are acted very irresponsible with the issue of managing elections in Nigeria, but we need to look for a way that we weaken their control over the electoral process, rather than not strengthen the control of the federal government on our election system. Because even the Justice Dewey report panel, what we are saying is that the president should not even appoint the INEC chairman and members of the commission. Yes. Because today you can see they were complaining in the last administration of Buhari, and complain now that most of the commissioners in INEC were members of the party. So we shouldn't have that kind of thing coming up. We should have a situation where we will have a transparent process of nomination and then a transparent process of appointment, where we will know that these people who are coming are not partisan, and they are professional in the field of election management. We have a lot of them like that. So why can't we put them? You have noticed that so far so good. None of these people have been able to gain access to managing our electoral commission, but they are very useful in organizing seminars and functions for federal government on behalf of election management bodies. Okay, let's take this caller. Good afternoon. You've heard him loud and clear. Please, your name and where you're calling from.
Good afternoon. This is Peter.
Okay, Peter, go ahead, please, with your contribution. Also a regular caller. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Hello.
Peter, go ahead. Is your namesake? We have lost
my namesake. I would have loved to hear what he was trying to say. So generally, everything about local system, the councillors we are talking about, imagine how many young people would have gone to throw their energy in an election that is free and fair for 19 political parties.
Exactly.
Every political party would have brought their kind, and popular and acceptable persons would have been
back. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello.
You're on.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Yusuf Alayusman from Gombe.
Okay, Yusuf Alayusman is also a regular caller. Go ahead with your contribution. We then tell you you're joining us for granted.
With the man that is there with you, Peter, he has spoke so much, and thank you well.
Thank you.
But my thought is on the issue of local government autonomy and the local government elections.
Okay.
Local government autonomy, yes, congratulations. Local government have autonomy of financial backing, but the issue is from the election. When you kill a snake without cutting the head, definitely sure you are not successful.
Yeah, that's right.
Governors and governments have so much strong influence in their states. So, including the judiciary, that man is saying that let it be under the judiciary. I have never seen any judicial officer that goes and gets with the state government in their own states. So therefore, the only option is for allow INEC to conduct the election. I'm 64 years old. I'm not a small boy.
Wow.
I've seen so many elections in Nigeria. So therefore, with this behaviors of governors in Nigeria, if you allow them, you still, as if you have not given autonomous to local government, they will still make sure that if their candidate that is there, they have so many ways of manipulation. They have so many ways to which they can control even the local government so that they are not directly have right to put their hands in. But I believe that INEC, national INEC, should conduct local government election all over, because they have all the capacity to do that one. Because I've been witnessing some local government election. I've never seen a police unit in my area, even once, since when I came to Gombe 2007. I've never seen in any police station that they are voting. So, look, when you are talking about, look, only INEC can conduct election, which other party can be part of it. But as long as you allow them to go in this kind of things, sincerely speaking, they will still make sure that their candidate is there. They can direct him and do whatever you think he cannot do, and they can do it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alan Yusuf. Yusuf has spoken so eloquently.
Yes, I agree with Yusuf. Sir, thank you for calling. I agree. I've really pushed for. I have been up to 50 videos where I pushed for INEC to conduct local government elections, and INEC has so much. INEC have done a lot of capacity building on the areas of conducting elections in Nigeria. Like I said on a fellow sister station, I've said, look, there was no polling unit across all these local government elections that was conducted. He was right. There had never been polling unit. You just come and they announce results sitting in their room. You have been there's a revolution from the former chief of staff to former governor of Rivers State online. That when he said that he writes the result of local government in his office. Yes. The video is everywhere, and nobody's arresting anybody. So that level of impunity has contributed to how Nigerians feel that the local government election has failed our country, has failed our people, and has failed to be accepted as an electoral process that Nigerians should have confidence in. But I'm still saying that despite my old inclination to the fact that there should be INEC conducting election, I'm trying to get a balance. I know if we have a sit down round table with professionals and lawyers, we will find a way to make this law that we will have an independent body that will conduct elections that will not overburden INEC. Do you know that Justice Uwe report also said that INEC is overburdened, and that INEC should be unburdened? And INEC should be unburdened the fact that INEC should just become an electoral commission. And INEC should be the breaking down of INEC will now we have a political party registration and management commission. Because then we have all the other things, the election and all that. Voter registration. INEC is doing all these things. So INEC is really overburdened.
Okay, let's take this caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please go ahead. Your name and where you're calling from.
It's a
Sofiano calling from Nasarawa.
Sofiano from Nasarawa, you're also a regular caller. Go ahead. We welcome you to today's show.
I'm welcoming the guest in the studio.
Okay, he can hear you loud and clear. He's appreciative.
Okay, my thought is that giving local government autonomy from the federation is a very, very welcome idea. But leaving states to conduct a local government election is that a clean snake without cutting the head. Why I think so is that, let me bring example to myself. As a local government chairman now, I wanted to go for the second tenure. Then I collected my allocation from the federation. Then my governor said, if you want to go for the second tenure, bring the allocation. What do you think will happen? I will not give him because I wanted to come for the second. I will give him because I wanted to come for the second time. That is my take. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sofiano from Nasarawa State. You heard what he said.
But the problem they are having, most of the things our people don't get is that at the time that it was state and local government joint account, there was this responsibility that was taken off the shoulders of local government chairman.
Yes.
Now, with money coming straight to their account, they too must be very careful.
And they must account for it.
Yes, they must account for it. They are now liable to arrest and investigation by the commission,
exactly,
by the FCC and ICPC. So, with that kind of action, if we have a strengthened EFCC, a well-strengthened and independent ICPC, and a code of conduct tribunals, if they start to invite them and they invite them 2 times, they write good statement and they see a sweat coming out of them, you find out that people start to sit up. Even despite this, without this autonomy, there have been a local government chairman in Ogun State who told the governor enough was enough and walked away. And even it was tried. You can go to internet and check it.
Yes.
So these are facts as we go along. First of all, give them this financial autonomy. Give them this guarantee of tenure that they cannot be removed from office, without a due process. When they have all this, you find out that Nigerians will now start to have a voice as we go along. But I know that we need to reform the local government election system. We need to reform it.
Okay, thank you for that. Let's take this caller. Good afternoon. This is the POLITY from KAFTAN Television. Go ahead, please. Your name and where you're calling from.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
From Niger State.
Go ahead from Niger State. Okay, Jaffe from Niger State. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to question what time do election for Edo State?
September 21st.
September 21st is going. In fact, it's going to be our next topic. So you can wait.
Okay.
Just remain tuned to the station, and we're going to take it up. It's our next topic of discussion. Let's take this caller. Okay, go ahead. You. Go ahead.
So that's why we tell people. So for me, what I'm trying to sit down and think that the election management body and professional body should sit down and then review this process so that we don't always make a hasty decision and come to a hasty conclusion.
Let me ask you this question, Peter Ameh. Before immediately, after this landmark judgment by the Supreme Court, Nigerians were expecting a robust and frenzied atmosphere across the country when local government elections are being conducted, including myself. But what turned out to be was some sort of anticlimax. Would you say? And I was expecting people that matter, names that will come out to throw their hat in the race to contest for local government, professors, medical doctors, and what have you. But to what would you attribute that anticlimax situation?
Yeah, the anticlimax is because the CX are still there.
Okay.
And that's why people
and governors are controlling
CX, and they are still going to announce results from government house. Result of the election will be announced in government house, and in fact, you will not see ballot box in your polling unit like the former the other man who say who talked that before the last one, last caller to spoke. You will not see the ballot paper. You will hear announcement of results. So when we reform the process, you see a lot of people coming out. In fact, the best people to manage local government system don't participate in the election because the governors don't want people who are intelligent. They don't want people who have capacity. They don't want people who have the view of development in their senses to come around for local government election. So that in most cases, people look for people who are not well trained, people who are not exposed, because they don't want people that will challenge them or people who ask them why they are managing the money. I've seen a lot of local government chairmen who didn't return. A friend of mine from either local government, he never returned because it was too smart for the governor then. And it is this excess money that accrue to federal government, state government account that can make state be losing 8 billion to governors. They'll say governors took 80 billion. So when we start this process fully, and I'm very angry with what the federal government has done. Trying to give a date for the implementation of a law I don't like it. I think that once that it is done, the certified true copy of the judgment should be served, and that month it should continue. Whatever arrangement they have to do, the government have to do to bear their burden and pay salaries. Let them pay, because the governments have not shown physical responsibility on the management of our finances. The governors are the weakest link when it comes to economic management in Nigeria, and we cannot continue to condone them and allow them to spoil this country and make sure that our future generation does not have a place where they can, with a place of pride, to call their communities their home. That is what the government
Chief Ameh, beside attraction to government resources which the governors have unfettered access to fleas, what are those things? Why would someone that has an office, occupies an office that is ephemeral, should scuttle a viable project that is futuristic, that will outlive generations?
Because
this thing is supposed to outlive generations.
We need to correct that first of all by creating an enabling environment for people who can contest election without being in money bags, without making our election a money-driven process, with making our election an inclusive, free, fair, and credible process, so that people can go. You know the essence of multi-party democracy, so that you can have a choice, so that you can belong to a party that protects your interest, as stated in the Constitution. You know, an association, trade union, or a political party. So, if we can have that, and then Party GGG, Party AA, Labour Party, YPP, SDP can win elections based on the competent nature of the candidate, competence of the candidate they are presented, based on the popularity of the candidate they are presented, based on the acceptability nature of the candidate they are presented, then we will have progress. Then you find out that when people go to government house, they know when they come back for the next 4 years, they have to present their scorecard, and that the vote of every man is one vote per person, and that vote has the capacity, the validity to determine whether that person continues. As it is now, most people in government think that they need to accumulate more resources to be able to come back for second term, to be able to bribe their way in, to bring in tokenism, to bring in bag of rice. Our politics still play with the...
Okay, let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon. This is the Polity.
Good afternoon. My name is John Emmanuel from Benue State.
John Emmanuel from Benue State. Go ahead with your thoughts.
First of all, I want to say a very big thank you for the guest we have in the house today.
Thank you very much. He's a big catch. You'll be seeing him regularly.
The issue of autonomy to local government chairman of financial is a recent development.
Yeah.
I think that is the moment that we have been praying for. Because development of a nation starts from local government level. Because Mr. President cannot come to downstep of the local government to know if the country is developing or not. So since they have grant autonomy to local government chairman, they have to finish what they have started by making the election of local government chairman free and fair for every participant, those who are voting and those who have to be voted for, to know if the election is free and fair. And by doing that, there need to be plenty eyes on INEC, because this is the country whereby after the function of every election, people complain about INEC. So if INEC is free and fair, then we'll have a good selection of local government chairman. That is where the system can work to the expectation of every Nigerians at the local government level. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. React to that, please.
He's right. He's right. Yes, he's right. We need a free process. Like I was trying to say before I stopped.
Yes.
In 1998, it was INEC that conducted the local government election across Nigeria.
Yes.
It was like a parameter that was used that if you win 30%, you appear on the ballot for.
You know, I mean, Anagon was so powerful then.
Powerful because they have guarantee of tenure. They could say anything. They could do anything.
Exactly.
So that's why you could see that those praise singers, spineless praise singers in Oyo could say, now we follow our governor. You give the money to our governor. The money is not your governor's no money. Neither is it the money of the local. It's the money of the people. It's public funds. So you can't determine where it goes to. It should go to use for the people, and that's why they are directing it to you to use it. So that if you take the money, the eyes of government will be on you. Look, when do you know what?
Would you say 33 people can be that bereft of ideas? Representing grassroots. 33.
It's because
not a single dissenting voice.
The governor appointed them.
Okay.
So they are beholden to the governor.
Yes.
Do you know what generated the interest of Buhari, who people see as a colossal failure when it comes to management of our country? Do you know what generated his reaction to try to remove local government from the hands of government? Was the report by the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU. That report was scary. What was happening to local government financing?
Yes.
So and Buhari didn't have enough advice. He went and signed what they call Executive Order 10. Which Wike and Co went up to Supreme Court. Governors went and quashed it and threw it away. But this current SAN is a very smart man. He came up with an idea. Let's leave once in 97. You can't go into the bathroom, into the river with everything on your body without getting synced, without getting synced. So he now came and said, let's remove the financial autonomy first. We take away one leg. Yeah. Let's see what the local governments will do with the money. And that's why every day you hear warning. Local government, where this money comes, like give it to your governor. You will bear the consequence. You will be the one to face the punishment of whatever mismanagement that happens in the local government. So we are progressing, but we are progressing too slowly. That's why Nigerians are very agitated.
You have asked a question. I mean, you've addressed an issue that needs follow up. Now, the central thing is that it has to do, or the keywords are local government financial autonomy.
If you say local government autonomy,
okay, they have financial autonomy.
Yes,
but the joint account still exists between the
No, it's going.
It's going. It has not gone.
It hasn't gone.
So the question now is, in the event of any malfeasance or mismanagement, who will be held responsible? Is it the local government chairman?
It's the governor that will be responsible.
The governor for now.
The eyes are still on them. The money is going to the joint account.
Yes.
The Oyos, I forgot the former chairman from Ogun State who walked out of the local government system and was even sanctioned. I was put in prison by the governor because the man said, no, I can't continue to come to meeting. What they did is that the governor will put register. As you come, you sign in front of your money. As you sit down, they discuss. They will not be telling you, we have used the money. So the man said, we just signed. We have not even discussed the money. You say you have used it. If you go to you will say, So the man has been very vocal. So he was removed and he left. But posterity will judge him well. Because he was very courageous. Because you can't be a slave in your own, when the authority has been given.
I like this line of thought. Let's take this caller. Don't forget it. Hello, good afternoon. This is the POLITY.
Hello, good afternoon.
Go ahead, please, your name. Beg your pardon?
I'm Stephen from Plateau State.
Stephen from Plateau State. Go ahead with your thoughts, contribution, or question.
Okay. First and foremost, I want to congratulate the president for this great thing he has done. But it's just a one way out of this problem that we have about state and local government palaver. So long as the state, like Plateau State, we have what we call that the state
plus here. Plus here.
So they are indirectly controlled by the government.
It's everywhere.
Directly.
They don't have their independence.
Yeah, you're right.
The winning party is PDP. It's just like if you are able to get the primary for PDP, almost like automatic ticket to be a chairman or council. So how do we deal with that? The autonomy is good, but we have to also give the INEC independent so that this thing will work for us.
Okay. Thank you, Peter. He's repeating everything that you have said. He's reiterating it. Yeah. And now, as we wind down, let me ask you. Okay, let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead, your name and where you're calling from.
You're from River State.
From River State, go ahead with your contribution.
Okay. I have a question. I don't know. I need clarification.
Okay, go ahead.
From the day Supreme Court pronounced that from today henceforth effect, because I'm from River State, I want to say I'm from River State, people know where we are driving to.
Yeah, I know.
There's no caretaker.
There's no caretaker at all.
And my concern is not the financial autonomy. Now, my concern is when will this thing affect, like election? That is what I'm interested in, because I'm not a lawyer. So that's a clear interpretation. When is it going to, like the River State government is putting in chest that he's going to do election. and we don't know when this thing will effect.
Okay.
And the 10-man committee, the role that they will play, they need to interpret to us because they are laymen in this aspect.
Okay.
So we need a clear interpretation. So when we are telling others, we should know what we are saying.
Thank
And
you.
major question is that when will the election start?
Okay.
Not the financial aspect. The financial aspect is not my issue.
Okay.
The election itself, when we then conduct their own election. Thank you.
Thank you. His question is very, very valid. I'm sure you heard it.
Yeah, I heard him. You see, people think that any decision taken by court is not important. It's very important. That decision taken by court. The reason why the River State governor is insisting that he must conduct a local government election by October, and the other people who are fighting him are trying to scuttle it so that he doesn't conduct the local government election, is because they want to be able to delay it till next time. But if he conducts it now, he knows that those he has brought will spend 4 years.
Yes.
So he's covered.
He's covered.
You can't remove them. You can't dissolve them. You can't make them local government caretaker committees. So this is the reason he wants to do that. And for him talking about when the other election will start, the election cannot even start because the law 197 has not been removed. The CX will still be responsible. PLASEC for Plateau will be responsible. COGSEC for Abika, KSEC for Kogi will be helpful. Everybody. So we are removing those Adamawa, Kogi, Bayelsa from the front. That's why we're calling them CX, State Independent Electoral Commission,
exactly.
so that so that it can cover the 36. You know, people think that INEC is superior to CX. No, they have the same authority. They have the same creation of the constitution. There's no superiority between INEC and CX.
Yes.
And they are not subordinate to INEC.
Exactly.
In fact, the only thing is that INEC has more competence, INEC has more manpower and more training because of the level of finance that is allocated to the commission's activity. The state governors doesn't give CX money. The CX is suppressed, apart from not only by decision making, but even financially. They don't have the resources to train anybody. They don't even know how to, that there's need that you must place particulars and this thing of candidate before the date of election so that people can check them.
They only pay to announce results.
And they only appointed to announce results. This is a perfect capture. I think I will take this one home as what I've learned.
Exactly.
They only pay to announce results. And for you to be able to get it right, you must be paid to conduct elections and conduct credible elections to the Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians are very eager because in their local government they see that they can do it. They see that they are popular, but they can't contest the election because they are forced to go see the governor, to get anointed, to get baptized, as if you are going to see God. So that's the mistake that is in our electoral system, and we can get it right. Maybe people will now have confidence that INEC should conduct local government election if, when the waste panel's Justice Way report is implemented, when INEC appointment does not come from the presidency, when it's come from the combination of the National Judicial Council, the National Assembly, and all critical stakeholders in the conduct of elections, like PLAC, all those professional bodies that who understand the issue of elections. So these are what we are saying. Then people will now, other people who are against centralizing our electoral body up to the local government level, maybe their confidence will start to come up. But the fact is that we are progressing, not in error as it used to be, but not too fast as expectations are. So we must continue to follow that process and make sure we meet that distance, because without a proper election, there's no democracy. And without proper democracy, there's no dividends of democracy. Dividends of democracy can come when people know when they were elected and they don't perform credibly well to protect the interests of the people, knowing by the next ballot they will be removed. But our politicians are very confident and have been so emboldened to a point that they say no care about the people. Making a good they do now, we'll be eating as we like. So that's what they said it. Akwabe said it where people were trying to protest, because if there's election, let me tell you, our politicians will watch their utterances, they will watch their actions, and they watch the decisions that they take on behalf of the people. But because there are no credible elections, and they know they can manipulate the process or use government resources to suppress popular candidates who are in other parties that are not in government. This is where the problem lies.
Okay. Viewers, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we're going to take a deep dive into the 10-man inter-ministerial committee that was set up by the federal government to be chaired by the Secretary to the Governor of the Federation, Senator George Akume. And we'll take a look at, I will be asking Chief Peter Ameh his expectation, and viewers are going to be calling in to also tell us their expectation from the 10-man committee. But that will be after this short breather. We'll take a commercial break. When we return, we'll continue with the conversation. Please stay with us. You're welcome back to the Polity. My name is still Maucauley Hunohashi, and with me in the studio is Chief Peter Ameh, a politician and former national president of Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC. Now we are here discussing local government autonomy against the backdrop of the 10-man interministerial committee that was constituted yesterday to be chaired by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume. And let me ask you about the membership. Membership has been drawn from, some the MDAs and even state governments that include Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Minister of Budget and Economy Planning, and that of the Federation, and the Central Bank Governor is also a member, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance is also a member, Chairman, Revenue Mobilization and Allocation and Fiscal Commission is also a member. State governors and local government area council are expected to be represented. We know the country we are. There are so many demographics that may start arguing that they are, by commission or by omission, they are omitted, like the youth groups, market women, NURT, WS, that's the road safety, road transport workers, and what have you. Are you okay with the way the membership is constituted so far?
I'm okay. I think the critical stakeholders have been captured.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even believe there was need for committee. Just that Nigerians like to play around for me. I didn't believe there was need for committee.
Okay.
It's just implementation. If there's a law already and you want to implement it, it's to send memo out to all local government chairmen. That's 774. The ones who are not elected won't get the memo. The ones who are elected will get the memo. And then they follow the account. And then you establish a database for those accounts so that on a monthly basis they get their payment. Okay. So I don't believe all this process is just trying to give the governors safe landing, because the problem is that they are trying to give governors time to be able to adjust their spending habit, to be able to adjust their expectation when it comes to the resources that are accrued to the state joint account. So they are just giving these governors safe, soft landing, because there's no necessary for soft landing. If they had a fiscal responsibility approach to management of public resources, they won't need that. They need that now because they are fleecing on public funds without having a proper approach to how it will affect the life of the people. So what has been done, yes, give them some lighting, because you can't pass a judgment last month and say you will start implementation in October. In those 3 months we are wasting. We are going to lose a lot of progress that should be made within those 3 months. But like they said, a man an issue who has a date will surely come to pass. Exactly. So we'll be patient. Exactly,
we'll be patient. And let me ask you, now with this committee that is in place, there are expectations, of course, from Nigerians, including yourself. What are those things you can itemize for us as expectations from them? What do you want them to do?
The committee?
Yes, the committee.
No, the committee will not do anything now. Okay. Like they should just make sure that money goes straight to the local government account. Okay. Hit the account of each local government. I'm from Olomamboro. Money should hit the account of my local government chairman. Elected one. If they are not elected, they should not see.
They should. I wanted to ask you that question.
Yeah, if they are not elected,
that's what that are not elected. That's
what the judgment says. If they are not elected, no money. So that's why you see the rush for conduct of how they call it, the non-fair electoral elections for local government elections. Send the money directly to them. So that let's be looking at ourselves in each of the local government and be asking the local government chairman, what are you doing with our money? The money comes to you. And then the next election, whether they like it or not, things will start to get better. And the local government chairman said, we have to know that you take money from an account. How much are you going to withdraw? You are going to withdraw the 200 million at once and go and give to your governor. No. You will be able to do it now. So you transfer some, and those ones will be traced. And the money that you remove, you will account for them. What are you using it for? What I expect to see going forward in most of the local government that I will be passing through is to start to see local government do rural roads, grade, them construct market, public health centers, let it work, because almost all of them are dead. Primary schools that are not working, you don't have to wait for state government, you manage it. So these are small things I expect the local government to do with their budget. Some of these local government are richer than some states. It will be for instance, Ikeja local government, they have the internal generated revenue and the amount of money they get. 44 local government in Kano, the benefit of money that will come to each of these local government. So we need a practical approach in sustaining this process, in holding the local government chairman accountable, and making sure that the money put there is for the benefit of the masses.
There is a state that conducted the election shortly after this landmark judgment by the Supreme Court, and the state is dominated by the main opposition party, one of the major opposition parties, as the PDP, and the governor of that state. The state has only 21 local government area councils, and only 21 forms were made available for the primaries of that political party. And during the primaries, it was affirmation, and at the first instance, the forms, the expression of interest form was 9 million naira, and the nomination form was 1 million naira, making a total of 10 million naira. So even those that felt they have the wherewithal,
nomination from the party or from the CX?
From the party.
I know the party have
from the party
amount. You have 90
so, and it was the government that foot the bills, of all the candidates. Many of them could not afford 10 million naira to buy the forms, but they were paid and they were penciled down for election. And it was one fell swoop. They were announced as beneficiaries. The question I want to ask is that they have received their allocation. The first allocation has already been disbursed. Now, what's the implication of you coming out? Your campaign was paid. You were given 4 million naira to go around for campaign within your local government, and your form was paid for you, and now you are in the saddle as the local government chairman. What's the implication, going forward?
For me, the 4 million that was given them is just pocket money, because there was no campaign for those elections.
Yes.
The form that they are paying for is just to support the party that they belong to. It's their own party, promoting the interest of their party. But I thought it was CX that was charging.
It wasn't CX.
The Supreme Court judgment that is the landmark judgment that I've said, independent electoral commissions in Nigeria, whether it's state or national, should not charge Nigerians for participation, and that is not done. But for the money that is paid, they're just supporting their political party. But I know that the implementation of the judgment that have abolished Section 162 state and local government joint account has not started. So money has not gone directly from federation account to hit their account. But at the end of the day, I know they will still be loyal to the governor. But how long?
Exactly.
How long is what we are looking at? As long as you start to take the money, and we have a very effective NFIU unit, National Financial Intelligence Unit that is very effective.
Yeah.
The arm of the law will become short and start to deal with them, and you find out that people start to adjust. If the governor asks you to bring, you say, I no go bring, they don't arrest my colleague. So things will start to improve. I believe this law will help a lot, and I must commend the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Sincerely, this was a wonderful law, because I have been in advocacy for local government election for the past 15, 20 years.
I know that one.
Yeah, I've written book. I've done a lot of things in that. In fact, when I was doing my masters, I had to write about local government administration in Nigeria, because it's something that is at the center of my heart, to believe that if Nigeria must work, we must have processes that must protect the interests of the people on election day, to allow Nigerians elect their leaders who will represent them, at whatever level, whether it's local government, state, or federal. So that is where the CX inability to conduct a free and credible election, comes in. So we must continue to shine our watch light on them, and continue to monitor their processes until we get it right with Section 197, and make sure that we take the control from the caprices and mismanagement of state governors, from the whims and caprices of state governors, and suppressive regime that they have created in the state, to a point that they are no longer opposition. The governors are killing opposition in their state. I'm telling you the truth, because if there is local government election, opposition will blossom, opposition will grow, because you will now have this fleecing of public fund. Opposition can speak, but because of so much money, do you know that some oppositions are under threat to life, because the governors see the state as an investment that they must do, and they must continue to try to impose their successor, in whichever way that is possible. But if there's no money, if it's not as lucrative as it is today, then people will start. The governor will just go with his bag and go home and go arrest. But politics is more lucrative than being in public sector. It has killed our public sector. It has killed our industrial sector, because people go to people become governors at 39, 40, and when they come out, people are pursuing them for 80 billion naira. You can see that they are running around for 80 billion. A man who did not have anything, who was just a civil servant or something, and get into government, and he's running around for 80 billion naira missing money. So we must get our governance system right, and if we must get it right, there must continue to be constant active participation by citizens, because citizens' docility is also part of the problem. Citizens have withdrawn. Some people will tell you when you talk, you say, don't mind them, John, their money. This money is our money. It's not theirs. It's theirs. Government is not meant. It's not meant for us to be beholden to government. Government is supposed to be responsible to us and beholden to us. So people, until Nigerian citizens get more education on issues of governance, on issues of electoral matters, on issue of political participation, then we'll start to also have improvement. So the citizens should not just write themselves off that they are not. They are on the at the second hand. They are not at fault. They are at fault. Because if you take bag of rice to vote a person for 4 years, if you take a cube of mangi to vote a person for 4 years, you are selling out what you are selling out, what you are voting for, which you don't know, is good access, good roads, education system, medical infrastructure. These are the amenities that you have sold out. So as soon as they start to also see the consequences of their greed, for not allowing free fair processes to strive, by allowing those who have intelligence to speak to them and say, you don't have money, but we believe you have the capacity. Let's vote for you. If you don't do that, if citizens don't do that, then we're on a long thing.
Okay, enough so much on local government autonomy and against the backdrop of the 10-man interministerial committee. Now let's shift gears to Edo State. So much is happening in Edo State, and with the appeal court judgment that has affirmed the High Court judgment reinstating Philip Shaibu as the former governor of Edo State. What are you looking at?
The governor should obey that judgment. The governors cannot be choosing and decide which judgment to obey and which one to not to obey, and that they are weakening our judicial system. They are disrespecting the constitution, and the segregation of their constitution should not be allowed in any way. The Nigerian police force, who are supposed to, Philip Shaibu should serve that certified true copy of the Nigerian police. I'm not a friend of the APC. Everybody knows I'm not their friend because they have really mismanaged our resources. But we must not allow our laws to be trampled upon, to be oppressed. Whatever that is happening to Philip Shaibu is not to him. It is to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So if there's a judgment by the Court of Appeal, the governor of Edo State must do right by obeying that court order and not blocking Philip Shaibu, stopping him from having access to his office. So allow him have access, perform his function and role as enshrined in the Constitution as the deputy governor of the state. If he wins at the Supreme Court, fine. I don't believe in this judgment that you must wait to Supreme Court. That means each of the judgment, Federal High Court, High Supreme Court, does not have the potency of that judgment will be taken away. No, I believe that anytime a judgment comes, people should obey it immediately. So whoever wins, yes, it can go. This is not an electoral; it is a post-election issues that arise out of misunderstanding between the governor and the deputy governor. They have joint ticket, inseparable joint ticket. So if you say you have impeached him, the court is saying the processes were not free, the processes weren't clear, and there was no due process in the decisions that was taken, then you must accept what the court have done, and not to say because you are governor, as every governor, and because you control certain authorities within the state, you will block the person from not performing his function. Okay, let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon. This is the Polity from KAFTAN Television. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Yes, I am Stephen from Plateau State.
Stephen, go ahead, please. Stephen, go ahead.
Okay. I want to disagree with our guest.
Okay. Go ahead.
Because of what happened recently, you discover that the cases in our judiciary are not stable. You find out that some cases will be against in the High Court, and then their appeal will be different.
Okay.
Some example in our state, during the High Court judgment, it was that the APC candidate won, and then in the appeal, the PDP won, and then lastly, the spring, the PDP won. So how do we balance this? If the governor will just agree to a second judgment, I want him to answer that.
Okay. Thank you, Stephen. You answer that question. Go ahead.
You know, when it comes to post-election matters, that if you are in the House of Reps now or you are governor and the matters go to the tribunal, that has already been settled in law. What is saying is an election issue. It's already set in law that when a tribunal gives judgment against a party that is not in office, you will wait for the Court of Appeal and then wait for the Supreme Court to take decision. This one is that the man is in the office.
Okay.
He's a sitting deputy governor of the state.
It's a different scenario altogether.
It's a different scenario. You're not coming from outside. He's a sitting governor of the state.
And the argument was that he was impeached on the 8th of April. He was not given fair hearing.
Yeah. So that is different. That's why you need to understand when you are. I just have many years of participating in politics.
Exactly.
I made me a para lawyer. You understand? So what you are saying, the man is a sitting governor. So you are telling me that because he now has a judgment issue, he will wait. There's the election coming up in the state by September 21st.
And he has exactly 1 month.
When there's a
21st of August.
When there's a judgment and the person who has that judgment cannot benefit from it, of what essence is that judgment?
You're right.
There's no essence. There's no essence in the judgment. So if the man tenure is coming to an end, and you are telling him to wait until his tenure ends, so that if it becomes forceful officials, so that after tenure, and Supreme Court said that he was deputy governor, of what essence? There's no remedy.
There's no remedy.
So the essence of the judgment is for there to be remedy. So, and the man is a sitting deputy governor. The person who came from outside was not even elected. It's by appointment by the State House of Assembly.
Exactly.
So it's the person that should wait until the Supreme Court take decision.
Okay, he was alleged to, or he was accused of releasing government secret documents because they couldn't find anything against Felix Shaibu. It was on that basis that he was impeached. The majority leader was the one who announced that.
Yes.
But today he has got to. Do you expect him to resume office? Because he has attempted to resume after the High Court had cleared him. There was so much skirmish and a policeman lost his life in the company of Okpobolo.
Until we build our institutions to know how to execute judgment properly, like especially Nigerian police, that deal with civil matter. Until we build that institution, not to like we say, commissioner of police is in the state and say listen to governor. He should listen to that law that is in his house and have a very robust legal department that will be advising him on such issue. Because the provincial police that is shooting and taking any action there, they are not under the control of the state governors now. So we must have a law, a way that our public officials must have respect for due process. So if he's not allowed to resume, sincerely, it's not fair. His tenure will pass, it won't work. He is the original owner of that tenure. So I think the person who is the deputy governor now, don't forget the contestants of Rep under Labour Party.
Yes.
It was just appointed because the election was coming and they were looking of how to draw obedience
and show up.
So to draw obedience in the state, because the Labour Party did so well in Edo. Did so wonderfully well in Edo. So to bring obedience, they now brought him from Edo North. We were a contestant of Rep. He was still even a member as far as I'm concerned. So all we need to do is to make sure that our people who have now become more powerful than our constitution as the way they are, because of the way they are acting. They are acting.
And the appeal court also warned that anybody who parades himself apart from Felix Shaibu as the current deputy governor of the state will face the full weight of the law.
I'm very glad with that judgment. Like I say, I'm not a friend of Felix Shaibu, neither am I a friend of the appointed deputy governor or the governor. But what I'm saying is that I believe in the truth. I want to stand by the truth at all times to make sure it works. And that truth is that Felix Shaibu, as he currently stands, is the deputy governor of Edo, as pronounced by the Court of Appeal. And that judgment should be respected.
Yes. Now, Edo State is so volatile, politically speaking, and with the kind of language, political language you hear emanating from that place is vitriolic, is vituperative, is apocalyptic. There are so many adjectives you can use to describe it. What do you think?
Edo State is the most informed electoral environment. Most informed.
Yes, even
if you look at what they did for Oshomola in the ACN, if you look at what they did for Baseke in his coming for second term, where they went
in spite of the volatile nature.
If you look at what they did for 2023 elections, where they understand the principle of multi-party participation. Where they voted Labour, voted PDP, and voted APC.
But there's some tension, you will agree with me.
There's always tension when it comes to election in Nigeria. And the tensions is not created by the people. The tensions are created by political office holders who are enjoying the specs of office, who do not want to lose it, and want to impose a successor at all costs. That's where the tension comes from. That's why we're saying that you have to reduce the incentive in political office appointment and reduce it so that people can see it as a means to service, as an opportunity to serve the people. Not where people will receive 21 million naira per month. Why salary people are struggling for 30,000 to something naira. You don't even know. Look at what Abo says, my in-law from Adama, when he said that 21 million naira is not enough, 29 million naira is not enough. The governors take over 1 billion. He said it. But that is not how governance should be. You are supposed to be there for the people. Because if you are there for the people, and you know that after government you don't have money, you are going to enter public, you'll be able to build public transport system that is working, that can also accommodate somebody of your status. You build roads, federal road structure or state road structure that will be enduring beyond your own lifetime. So these are challenges of our leaders that are not they are not futuristic in their thinking. They are not people driven in their policy to make Nigeria or make the state great. If they are policy driven and they are community driven and people driven, then there will be more engaged in building an egalitarian society. If you can't, a lot of school of thought have said it's difficult to attain egalitarianism, but at least we can try to achieve it.
Okay, trying to achieve egalitarianism in Nigeria. Let me ask you this question. Perhaps I will get an answer today because I've not been able to get direct and convincing answer to this question. Why do governors, there's this platitude of not handing over to their deputies, to take over from them. Why is it, so in Nigeria?
Jealousy. Make I tell you.
Oh, it's jealousy, not jealousy.
No, not jealousy. Make I tell you the truth. They are feeling that me and you have done 8 years in this office. Then I'll come and give you another 8 years. You'll be very powerful.
Okay.
It's just the fact of
because they keep wondering.
No, because the man that you have done 8 years with you,
the should have learned a lot from you.
He should be able
you
to.
should have learned from your slip-ups, your mistakes, and your areas of strength. To make up for your slip-ups and then come and do better. And build on the blocks you people started.
I just don't want. Just think that the man who has spent 8 years will come and say another 8 years. That he'll be in office for 16 years. More than that means it will be more than him. And then the fact is that these are government are not developmental. They don't have developmental.
Look at what's happening in America. We're not running out of time. You see Obama handing over to nominating his deputy Kamala Harris. Handing over to Kamala Harris and as his vice presidential candidate. And they are thinking futuristically because she's coming to add to the building block. Here in Nigeria, the reverse is the case.
No, reverse is the case because we also see other issues. We have some divisions, tribal, primordial sentiment, and all that religious sentiment that are made us to say, oh, maybe the deputies here, maybe we'll rotate the governorship to another place.
Okay, let's talk about the
talking of central.
As we wind down now, we have like 3 minutes to wind down. Let's go international and talk about the American National Democratic Party's Democratic Convention of America, which kickstarted on Tuesday, and today is the third day in Chicago, and there was so much colorful representation. Obama spoke there, glowingly about the qualities of Kamala Harris. Clinton is going to talk. His wife, Hillary Clinton, will talk. Obama's wife, Michelle, former First Lady, and Hillary Clinton is going down in history as the first African American or Asian American to be nominated as presidential candidate of a major political party in America. What's your feeling or your take?
My feeling is it's good for it's good for democracy, because it's about multi-ethnic, multi-racial, multi-everything participation. It accommodates every tribe. That's what American democracy has grown to become. To allow people to be part of the process, not carry your background. Unlike what is obtaining in Nigeria, because minorities in Nigeria are not even in the question for discussion for presidency. When they say no south, they take it to extreme south. They say no, they take it to extreme. So what happens to the other? I think if elections are conducted based on removing tribal sentiment, removing religious sentiment, removes regional sentiment, and allow competence, merit, and ability to drive the process, like what you are getting in America, is a beautiful thing, because American collegial system of election is deep rooted and is an institution that is, America does not have an electoral commission, one single electoral commission. They have state commissions, like what we are talking about. CX. You have to, for a presidential candidate, you have to register your ballot in each of the states.
In each of the states,
independently.
Yes.
So it's a good thing for her and for women all over the world expecting to see a first female president. But don't forget that Trump is also fighting very hard.
The poll is even opinion poll is even neck to neck.
It's neck to neck, and even in battleground states, Trump is leading. Trump is leading in most battleground states, and American election is driven. Is foundation is for victory. Is on battleground state.
She couldn't allow Trump to continue with his campaign. That's why she was even absent at the convention, because while the convention was going on, she was already in
there's so much competition, and the competition is a healthy one.
It's a very healthy one.
People were able, not like our presidential system here where Buhari will refuse to debate, Tinubu will refuse to debate. When you have young people like the SDP candidate, very brilliant cerebral candidate.
Yes.
You have Peter Obi was in the race, who was very sound, talking about the economy of this country. You have other members, people who wanted to contest, who are contesting the presidency, but the one who did not debate won the election.
I think we are going to create a topic for the need for debates by our presidential candidates.
No, it's important.
It's very important. So we bring like the likes of Adewale Adebayo, the SDP candidate, all those younger presidential candidates. We're going to X-ray their elocution and their knowledge of the world.
In fact, we should make debate mandatory.
Okay.
There should be a national debate commission that will conduct debate for. We are very instrumental to the National Peace Committee. I was part of the initial people that was on the Peace Committee.
Okay.
So we need to have debate.
Unfortunately, time is on our friend. On that note, we're going to call it a day. This is how we will wrap up the Polity today. Thank you, Peter Ameh, politician and former national president of IPAC, for coming to the Polity. Viewers, we thank you immensely. My name is Maucauley, Hunohashi, saying thanks for being there and bye for now.